Everybody is afraid. We're afraid of uncertainty. We're afraid of obstacles and potential failures. But what would happen if we knew that obstacles don't exist and that our greatest potential waits for us right next to that belief? I'm Catherine B. Roy, business and personal growth coach with a client base in 14 countries. I'm the founder of LHM International, best-selling author and multi-awarded thought leader. My work is published in media outlets all around the world and I've been featured on countless events. But what I love the most is the fact that I do what I love. I am the creator of my own life and I'm helping people to do the same. That's how my life is today. And it may seem easy for me to say it or sum it up now, but let me tell you the truth. It wasn't always easy. There was a time in my life when I felt completely lost, insecure, and afraid. There was a time in my life when I saw more darkness than light. I remember that day back in 1999. I was rushing to school, very happy and energized because my first scientific work was just published. I was only 17 years old, a talented kid who was selected to go to scientific center and work on science projects with college professors. It was the experience of a lifetime for me, and I just wanted to share it with my friends. I walked into that classroom and I saw our teacher and my friends standing in an absolute silence. They looked like they were frozen. Their faces had no other expression than shock mixed with fear. Our teacher told us that we need to go home because bombing of our country is going to start that evening. My heart started to beat very fast. I felt deep fear. I remember walking home not seeing anything or anyone but feeling completely lost. I walked into my living room and I saw my family. My mom was crying. My granny was crying. My little brother was crying. My father and grandfather had serious expressions on their faces while smoking cigarettes in silence. They were watching news on television and what our teacher told us was the truth. But I couldn't believe it. Why would anyone do something like that? I was born in former Yugoslavia, a beautiful country which does not exist anymore. The civil war was on the field for almost a decade in other regions of the country. We, on the other side, experienced poverty because of the economic sanctions, uncertainty and fear. I remember a day when I opened the fridge. There was just a cup of yogurt. I can't describe how I felt. As my favorite poet says, it was D minor, because sadness is not enough to describe that feeling. Then I remember my grandfather planting the vegetables in our garden instead of flowers and grass, so we have what to eat. And my parents standing in front of the store and waiting for just half of a bread, which was humanitarian aid. But bombing? Somehow I was hoping bombing will not happen. I was just a kid. I just started my life. I didn't know exactly what was going on in Yugoslavia. I do believe I'm lovely and kind by nature, and for sure I didn't harm anyone. Why would anyone harm me? Why would anyone put a human being in a hopeless position like that? I was hoping bombing will not happen, but it did happen. That same evening, my mom and granny were taking blankets, just water and bread, and running with me and my brother to that underground shelter, which was in the basement of the nearby hotel. I was standing there with so many other known and unknown people who were so afraid. Some were holding their children, just trying to comfort them and waiting for what's going to happen next. Those were the moments when I saw those brave people stepping out from the basement and looking at the sky and trying to figure out if it is a star or a plane which is going to throw bombs and finish with our lives. That basement was cold, dark and dirty. We were hardly sleeping, doing our best to keep just our minds busy and not lose our mental health. I remember 2 different horn sounds. One was announcing danger is over and we can go out. Every time I saw sunlight, I was grateful and just hoping my home is still there. Other sound was warning us that danger is coming, and all we could see was people running back to shelter. This agony lasted for 78 days. Every time I remember, I feel like I'm going to cry. Back then, I was crying every day. I was hopeless. I just wanted to learn, to go to college, to help my people, but I was just 17. I was just a kid. I didn't know what to do. Those were the moments when I realized that someone can take control of my life. Someone can decide in my name without asking me anything or letting me know the reason why. Someone can put me in front of huge, life-threatening obstacle of not knowing if I'm going to live the next day. So I promised myself, if I survive, I will do my best to create my life and help people create theirs so this never happens again. I will do my best to make this world a better place, surrounded with kindness, love, compassion, empathy, freedom, and beauty. My experience became my why. I promised myself that I will create a legacy. And my legacy will be every person and heart I touch. And that I will never go back, not even in my thoughts, trying to understand why would anyone do something like that? Because people can only love us to the capacity they can love themselves. I said to myself, maybe my lifetime is finite, but my legacy will be infinite. And I did survive. I wrote my second scientific work under the candlelight. I've published it, got a national scholarship, finished college and started working in an international company. But again, life didn't cuddle me. It sent me more obstacles. I had Coxsackie virus back in 2008 and doctors predicted I might live just a year and a half. I was diagnosed with infertility and had 2 unsuccessful in vitro fertilization, but I became mom naturally, and you can see my lovely son here. I had COVID in November 2020 and here I am again. I will never accept any obstacle as something I can't overcome, because I don't allow it to my mind. All these obstacles didn't stop me. They made me stronger, and I've learned how to take my life into my own hands. So I've built my own business. And I'm now featured in so many media worldwide outlets and so many stages, conferences, books. I've stopped being the follower and became the creator of my own life. And I'm helping people to do the same by building their own businesses and creating their own lives. I've never felt more joy and satisfaction in my life. Obstacles don't exist. Obstacles are the myth. The myth our mind is telling us, because its job is to keep us safe. It's stopping us from growth, because growth leads to new, to unknown, to uncertainty, and guess what? Back to fear. But the real fear is what I felt in that underground shelter. It's not like someone will throw a bomb on me on a stage when I'm doing my speech. Obstacles don't exist. Lessons do. And we need to learn and grow by embracing our fears and having a firm belief that we can overcome whatever comes our way. Everybody is afraid, and that's perfectly fine. The only thing which is important is your will to transform that fear to creative energy and find new ways to overcome what we call obstacles. Are you willing to question everything you know? Are you willing to reinvent yourself? Are you willing to become a creator? Are you willing to fall and get up over and over again? Are you willing to experience life, not just to survive? I didn't came here to give you the answers. I came here to awaken your souls with a lot of right questions. It is our time now to stand up, wake up, show up, and speak up. And I will tell you one thing, which is an absolute truth. Obstacles are the myth. You are enough. You can do whatever you set your mind to. And I am living proof of that. Thank you.